Welcome to round 10 of the 500cc World Motocross Championship. The Citadel circuit at Namur is once again the venue of the Belgian Grand Prix. The course, which is situated around the fortress overlooking the city, is certainly the most dangerous Grand Prix circuit in the world. With the track running through the trees, there's no room for error, as one mistake could spell disaster. Some of the track is actually on tarmac road, or even worse, cobblestones, and a fall on these surfaces would leave a rider with more than just bruises. Here we can see some polystyrene slabs up against the wall to protect the riders as they start to climb the long steep hill that ultimately leads to the stadium. These public roads have to be closed before racing can take place. This part of the circuit passes the most famous bar in the world of motocross. Former world champion Håkan Kollqvist once stopped here for a beer whilst leading the race, then continued to take the victory. Some parts of the circuit are also very narrow, with concrete wall on one side and a sheer drop on the other, protected by just a wooden fence, which certainly doesn't look capable of stopping a motocrosser in full flight. The fans flock to Namur in their thousands from all over Europe, but especially from Britain, to enjoy the party atmosphere and camp beside the circuit of the world's most prestigious Grand Prix. Paul Mallin, trying to enjoy a quiet meal, has to take a bow for the rowdy British fans who are just beginning to party. As Paul leaves the bar for the comfort of his hotel, many fans who have come to camp at the circuit are in for a shock, as this year all trackside camping has been prohibited, with an official campsite provided several miles from the circuit. Many fans decided not to stay, but to travel on to Germany for the 125 Grand Prix, or even to return home. This left the streets of the Citadel almost deserted on the Friday night, and the traders with empty cash registers. Spectators on Saturday morning are thin on the ground compared with previous years at Namur, where the normal Saturday crowd would be large enough to satisfy most Grand Prix organisers on race day. But these avid fans are determined not to miss any of the action either on or off the track, and they've already started to sample the local ale. At the start of the first practice session, Jared Smith leads the riders onto the track to the delight of the British fans, while Sharon Thorpe watches for David to appear over the tabletop, which he clears with ease. The air horns blast appreciation for Kawasaki star Paul Mallin as he poses for the fans. In the first qualifying group, David Thorpe set the fastest time of 2 minutes 52.26 seconds with an average speed of 54.734 kilometers an hour. Having done so, he acknowledges his fans outside the bar at the bottom of the circuit. Jared Smith qualified a respectable 7th, turns on the style for the British fans. Austrian Karl Sulzer, right on the limit here, qualified 2nd in the first group, just over 2 seconds behind Dave Thorpe. And between qualifying sessions, the British fans remained in good voice. As darkness fell on Saturday night, some lucky campers were allowed to stay, as the official site had been full since midday on Friday, and the police had by now given up trying to move people on. With only a few fans staying locally, this usually packed bar is almost deserted. The atmosphere of this event relies on spectators camping close to the circuit. Many disheartened fans may not return next year, and unless a solution to this problem is found, it'll surely be the death of this Grand Prix circuit. But many famous ghosts will still ride at the Citadel. So this is race day. The Grand Prix riders have had their early morning practice and are about to ride down into the stadium to start the time training session. This will determine the order that they come to the start gate for both heats. Kawasaki's works rider, number 11, Paul Malin, was third fastest. And three times world champion Dave Thorpe, also on a Kawasaki, was second. But current World Championship leader Georges Jobé on a Honda set the fastest time, and less than 1 second separates all three. With the temperature in the high 70s, the crowd settle and look forward to some good racing. Meanwhile, Kurt Nickel, back on the Grand Prix scene as a spectator while recovering from injury, shares a joke with Paul Malin. Ronnie Woostenrad must feel confident after setting fastest time in his qualifying group and fourth fastest in this morning's time training. With the first four-stroke to qualify in several years, Walter Bartolini managed a very respectable 18th on his Husaberg. He's certainly setting the world alight with his recent results and currently lies in 20th position in the World Championship. With only a few minutes to go, most of the riders are trying to keep out of the midday sun, and after his recent run of bad luck, Billy Lyles must surely hope to score some good points here today. Tempers flared when Mervyn Anstey's bike arrived after the Parc Fermé had closed, and he was excluded from the first race. Second fastest in time training, Dave Thorpe gets a good luck kiss from his wife, Sharon. The riders come to the line then, and we hand you over to our race commentator, Kenny Kay.
Well, the current championship leader, the Belgian Georges Jobé, comes up onto the line, no doubt, preparing to keep his home fans extremely happy with a good result in this first moto. The young Brit, 7th in the championship, coming here today, Paul Malin, number 11. David Thorpe, the former world champion, there with Dirk Gerkens, number 3, and Ronnie Woostenrad, number 85 on the other side. And that's Arto Pantella, number 16 on the Honda, on their left-hand side. The main challenge man, here he is, number 4, Jackie Martins. A little bit of gardening going on as the spectators and us alike wait for that gate to drop to the start of Heat 1 at this Grand Prix here at Namur. The gate drops, they're away into that first corner. Who will it be? Jobé and Martins neck and neck, but it's Jobé, and Martins has taken the inside line, pushing Jobé out, but has let the young Brit Paul Malin through number 11 on the inside. So it's Malin that leads out of that second corner. As the rest of the pack come through, there's a whole heap of riders, and there's one or two agitated riders in there as well, as you can well see. But there he is, the young British rider, 7th, as we said, coming into this championship in the lead, with Jackie Martins in second place. Behind Martins, it's Pantilla at the moment. The whole field already beginning to string out as we look back for Gerkens, and there he is. Jobé was through as well. Thorpe is going through. The tension already beginning to mount. There's Bartolini on the Husaberg, the 4-stroke. Dust beginning to fly. Heavy watering of this Namur circuit was carried out earlier on, but just not enough in this sweltering 80 degrees. Malin, Martins, number 4 on the KTM. Pantilla, number 6, great ride for him so far. Then it's Boonen, Johan Boonen, 23, riding the Kurt Nickel KTM. The rest of the pack come through. There is Jobé, there is Lyles, there's Thorpe behind Lyles. Already beginning to string out, but at the moment, at the front and in command is the Brit. Martin's chasing him in second place. Pantilla still there in third. The heat will no doubt take its toll on these riders as they go through. Boonen, 23. Crowd slightly subdued at the moment. They cheer there. There's Jobé, the championship leader, former 500cc world champion, looking to make it 2. Lyles is in there as well. There's Thorpe behind him, the 2 Kawasaki riders. Gerkens was through as well. Malin comes through to the cheers of the British contingent. Martin's coming through as well. This really is some hot stuff. Pantilla holding his own there in third. Boonen, 23, will be looking back, and here he is. You can hear the crowd cheer, the local ace, as Georges Jobé went through number 14. Lyles is there, still got Thorpe behind him. Thorpe has been here before, he's won before, he knows the track. The famous cafe where Harkin Carquest stopped for that beer some years back, as the Brit goes through to the cheers of the British fans. Just look at them hoist these bikes up over this jump. They must be doing 60 or more miles per hour. Pantilla, 16, still there onto the tarmac. Here comes Jobé. Look at the Belgians go. The fans getting behind their local ace. Boonen dropping back now to Jobé. Into fourth. They wait expectantly, looking for Thorpe. And you can tell that he's coming because he's behind Lyles. The Brits go mad. Thorpe goes mad. They're over the jump. Flat out in top gear. This is exciting stuff. The atmosphere always here at Namur, something that has to be experienced to be believed. There's one of the Brits, 34, that's Wheeler, young Brian Wheeler, having a great ride. Looking back behind Wheeler for the rest of the riders. They come through, there's that tarmac section. The British fans going mad. They come here and there, thousands, but the thing is, will they come back next year, we wonder. Rest come through. We're looking down the field to see who indeed will emerge down that hill first. One after another as they cheer. There's a Brit. There's a Brit in there somewhere. Number 19. That must have been Gerard Smith going through. Just listen to them sing. This is Namur, the Cup final of motocross. And we wait, hushed. It's Malin still. Paul Malin, the young 19-year-old Derbyshire rider. Martins is still there, number 4 behind him. Who will it be down next? It's still Pantilla. Jobé behind him. Jobé beginning to close on Pantilla. We could see something happen before the end of this race. Where's Thorpe? There's Lyles. Thorpe should be next. And he's in there. Thorpe is there. We so dearly want to see David Thorpe pull off some of his former glory here. And there's Martins. I think we've seen a change at the front. Yes, indeed, Malin has dropped back to second place, making an uncharacteristic mistake in the whoops on the downhill, and young Malin dropped the bike, letting Martins through. Jobé up into third. There's your fourth place man, Pantilla. Lyles behind him in fifth, number 6, the American. Then it's Thorpe, number 5. And the checkered flag goes out to Jackie Martins, number 4. And the parade lap from the top 3, Martins, Malin.